to talk about the anti-blackness that exists within the Latin American communities. When I went to go talk to them, they said that we don't like African Americans because they feel that we owe them something.
Before we discuss about the anti-blackness in this conversation, do you think one time the conversation of race will come to an end? Because it keeps coming up over and over the number of many years that have passed. Anyway, what do you think about this conversation?
Well, contrary to their belief, we love y'all, and black people don't feel like you owe us anything, except common decency and the same respect we give to the Hispanic and Asian community. We know how you talk about us. Why you with that black guy? Your kids are gonna be dark. Don't let that beg in my house. We see the hate, but we don't share that same hate for you. Hell, we don't even hate white people. We just don't fuck with racists. If you ask most black people what they want, they'll just say equality and to be left alone. But even when we're minding our own business, we start our own banks, we get our own neighborhoods, we build our own cities, the good old boys come and burn it down. This was Tulsa, this was Rosewood, this was Wilmington. They did it in Chicago. We had to make special books just to drive through our own country. So where can we go for peace? Go on over to Africa. They came to Africa, scooped us up, and brought us here. The large influx of Asians arrived here in the 1800s, Hispanics early 1900s, Polish 1870, Irish 1845, German 1820s, the rest of the world 1800s. Black people been here centuries before any of these groups. And we've been on the front lines of every single war, fighting for a country where every other group hates us. Many Asians and Hispanics move through this country unbothered because they think, because their skin is closer to white, that they have the same privilege and can treat black people the same way white people do. And this is why 40% of the Asian vote and half of the Hispanic vote went to the orange man. But the Hispanic community, you're learning very quickly, and they'll invade Chinatown and Koreatown and Little Japan next. And then you'll see why you perpetuate your anti-blackness, that they hate you just as much as us. As an enabled body adult, it is your choice to have a lack of education to keep you in this ignorance of this all blacks are bad mindset. If you're taught that Malcolm X was just a writer and MLK was just a pastor and slavery wasn't that bad, how could you truly understand the black experience? And now they're banning black education from our schools. Does this not scream 1933? When Black Lives Matter happened back in 2020, there were thousands of people jumping on social media talking about, oh my God, how come no one ever told me about Emmett Till? How come no one ever told me about the Tuskegee Airmen or Henrietta Lacks? That's just American history to us. Once you take the time to learn about the impact that black people had on this country and the world as a whole, your viewpoint on black people will be totally different. If the media constantly told the world that the entire Hispanic experience was this photo, or the entire white experience was school shooters and serial killers, that would be fucked up, right? Well, that's how they've been doing black people for decades. That's not our history. But we're forced to learn about white history, which is mostly wars and seasoned land and racism. Shit, we're about to go to war right now. You can't even become a citizen without learning their history, which is why everybody knows about the Boston Tea Party, the Battle on Bunker Hill, and can sing the Star-Spangled Banner, which ironically is also about war. The rockets' red glare and the bombs are bursting in the air. And can't forget racism. No refuge can save the hireling and slave from the terror of flight and gloom of the grave. Like, damn, they even killed us in the anthem and then gaslight us and call us unpatriotic if we don't want to sing it. So yes, we would love the respect of white folks who've been treating us like shit for over 400 years. We would love respect from all other people of color who wasn't dragged here but came here as immigrants at their own free will. Because when you, my fellow Asians, Hispanics, Middle Easterns, Africans, Pacific Islanders, Caribbeans, when you arrived to this cookout, your plate was already made. Black people already fought for your civil rights. We already fought for fair housing. We already fought for freedom. We fought through Jim Crow and being able to sit at the same damn restaurant as white people. We endured the acid being poured in public pools, the lynchings, the burnings, the drownings. The reason you could get a job or healthcare or an education. Black people fought for it. We didn't start HBCUs because we wanted black universities. They were started because we couldn't get into white universities. And we don't complain when many of your people sit on the sidelines comfortable and quiet. But it is fucked up when you say, why they always protesting and boycotting? All the while, these boycotts are benefiting you too. And now you're realizing it when we sit down and shut the fuck up. It ain't easy when you have to go boots to the ground, is it? Facing a sea of racist cops and ICE officials with shields and guns just itching to use them. Being thrown to the ground and watching your loved ones get round up like animals. It ain't easy seeing your people unjustly thrown in detention centers and your family torn apart. Snatching up babysitters and farmers with no due process. And you're lucky it ain't the 60s because they had dogs, ropes, and fire hydrants for us. It ain't easy feeling helpless because the country you love, the country that your people helped build and bled for, hates you. Coming home as a decorated veteran and you have to eat outside or they spit in your food. It ain't easy knowing that you're excluded from the all. When America screams with liberty and justice for all. Well, this has always been the black experience. Always. And that's why when black people see Asians or Hispanics or white people speaking up against the inequalities in America, we always support your views. It's got to be very difficult to step away from a long lineage of hate, knowing that your people, your family, your friends will call you a traitor simply because you fuck with black people. Well, you tell your hating ass family that this country was built on immigrants. So why the fuck are they here? All right, this message is for my brown people. And although us black folks decided to sit this one out because we did try to warn y'all at the polls, we do see that it's fucked up. California is a blue state. 66% of Latinos in California voted against Trump. But it's not enough. You got to work on your people that hate us. Then you got to rally your people because they hate you like they hate us. And don't tell me this is not about race. There's over 500,000 undocumented immigrants in America from Poland or Russia or Germany, the UK, Italy, Ireland, all over Eastern Europe. But they not joining the protest because they not being targeted. America has always been obsessed with race. You burglarize and steal someone's home, make laws that only protect you, then get upset when they want to move back in. Talking about, we need to protect our borders. Most of you never even met a Mexican American, and if you have, they probably doing a job that you would never want to do anyway. These ain't criminals. They're snatching up students and nurses and builders and farmers, electricians and plumbers. They got fucking armored vehicles pulling up on line cooks. You're separating mothers from their children and telling people who've been here for decades to just go and start a life somewhere else because you're uncomfortable. In their land. You just took their shit and was even too lazy to change the names. It's still San Francisco, San Diego, San Bernardino, Ventura, Calabasas, Rancho Cucamonga. But it's all in the name of law, right? Well, hanging people was law. Owning people was law. Segregation was law. Jim Crow, mass incarceration, redlining, stop and frisk, law, 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 law. Just because it's written don't make it right. You know Adolf had laws too. It's funny how you want people to follow the rules when they only benefit you. So let me get this straight. A man who was found guilty of committing 34 felonies is turning our troops against people who committed a civil violation. Being undocumented is a civil violation, not a felony. So who you put in office is far worse than any of these folks out here just trying to build a life in America. But y'all let him slide because he's white. I'm here in LA and not a single person died during these protests. 5 people died when they stormed the Capitol and those thugs were pardoned. Can you imagine if black and brown people stormed the Capitol? We wouldn't make it onto the fucking lawn before we got slaughtered. You naggers are all savages. You're tearing up property. Are you telling me that an insured Apple store or Louis Vuitton store is more important than the historic Capitol building of the United States? At least when black and brown people riot, it's for survival of civil rights. White America will burn a whole city down because their team won the World Series. So to all my brown brothers and sisters, coming from a people who's been fighting on the front lines for over 400 years, sacrificing our bodies so that Muslims and Asians and Africans and Indians and brown people can live a comfortable life in America, please realize that we are tired. A bit of advice. There is not a word that you can say to make those racists feel compassion because they do not view you as their equal. So keep protesting and going as hard as you can. And to the colonizers who agree with Mr. Trump, let me ask you a question. If all of your land is stolen and someone told you to go home, where would you go?